It's a tough time in EastEnders spoilers next week, as Callum's surprised when Ben turns up to support him at Jono's funeral. Don't miss out on these 7 huge EastEnders spoilers. Spoiler 1. Callum says goodbye to Jono. The Mitchells come together to support Callum on the day of Jono's funeral, with Stuart even turning up. Callum asks Johnny to stay away from the funeral so that nobody suspects their relationship. But Kathy spots them kissing. Kathy reports back to the Mitchells, who then all confront Callum, but he fights back and hits them with some home truths. He then tells Johnny that he's serious about their relationship and asks him to be at the funeral after all. Spoiler 2. Ben rocks up at the funeral. Kathy tells Callum that he'll keep his new relationship a secret from Ben Mitchell if he promises to tell Ben and Lexi after the funeral. Things are soon made super awkward though when Ben shows up at the funeral to support Callum. After the funeral, Phil's thrilled to see Ben back in Walford as he discovers that he's been transferred to a UK prison after turning informant on a cellmate. Johnny suggests to Callum that they continue to keep their relationship a secret from Ben, but Callum knows that the truth needs to come out. With the funeral now over, Kathy and Julie suggest that Phil visits Ben on the way to the airport. But will he? Spoiler 3. Kojo collapses. Harry and Gina return back from a cozy weekend away together, but Harry's soon thrown back into the chaos when Kojo collapses in the arches. Harry then realizes that Kojo is still working for Oki and Ravi. When a conversation with Ravi proves to be unsuccessful, Harry then turns to Teddy for help. Later on, George finds out about Kojo's collapse and turns up to check if he's okay. But Kojo worries that George is interfering too much and gives him the silent treatment. Spoiler 4. Harry tries to protect Kojo. Teddy advises Harry to not turn himself into the police, assuring him that he'll have words with Ravi. Conjuring up a new plan after his chat falls flat, Teddy arranges for Harry, Kojo and Gina to have dinner in a bid to catch Ravi out. Teddy then heads over to Kojo's flat, but soon has to hide in the bathroom when Ravi and Oki enter. Afterwards, Harry is on edge when George quizzes him on Kojo. Harry panics when he realizes that Oki has set Kojo up for another job at a car show away from Walford. But can he get him out of it? Spoiler 5. Avani encourages Suki to talk to Eve. Priya, Ravi, Avani and Nugget move back into number 41 after the house sale, despite not wanting to. Suki tries to patch things up within the family, as Avani suggests that Suki talks things through with Eve. Spoiler 6. Eve wants a baby. Over a drink, Eve tells Suki that she wants to adopt a baby with her. Priya soon finds Suki researching into the idea and suggests that Suki is too much of a bad mother to raise another child. Suki then heads off to discuss things with Eve. Has her family swayed her decision? Spoiler 7. Things kick off at school for Joel and Tommy, with Vicky struggling to gain control of Joel's misogynistic behavior. An incident kicks off at school which is sparked by Joel and Tommy. Soon, parents of pupils get involved to discuss the impact of sharing harmful content online. With Vicky then having words once more with Joel over his behavior and views, Joel ends up hitting her. And if you enjoyed these EastEnders spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more news from the square. Here are 6 huge Emmerdale spoilers for next week, including Charity's DNA test results revealed and Gabby's stress for her marriage. Spoiler 1. Charity discovers the truth. Charity chases the DNA results after pressure from Ross, but she is extremely guilty when she sees how excited Sarah and Jacob are to be parents. But things get worse when she reveals to Chaz that the baby is hers and Ross's. Chaz encourages her to tell them sooner rather than later, but Charity can't face admitting the truth to anyone else. Instead, Charity books a termination. So, when Sarah is excited that a scan is coming up, Charity is concerned. Chaz tries to make Charity see that a termination isn't the answer, but the pair get into a heated argument. Charity is heartbroken when Sarah gives her a memory box that she and Jacob have been making for the baby. She struggles when Sarah suggests she writes her own letter to the baby, but has Charity gone through with the termination? Spoiler 2. April moves out. Having almost killed Leo, Rona still hasn't forgiven April, and it seems even April is struggling living at home. They discuss April's living arrangements, but Marlon is worried it will isolate his daughter. April tells her family that she can stay with friends to please Rona, and when Ray offers her a room, she accepts. Marlon tries to get her to reconsider leaving, but it seems that her mind is made up. However, when Bob sees her with her packed bag, he refuses to let her stay with friends. April is relieved to not have to live with Ray, which leaves Ray annoyed. The next day, Celia overhears Rona and Moira discuss the situation. She inserts herself into the conversation, telling Rona she did the right thing, and pushes April away even more. Spoiler 3. Gabby is concerned about her marriage. Gabby opens up to Charles, bringing him home to do some marriage counselling with Vinny. As Vinny begins to open up, Charles makes them see they do care about each other, leaving them hopeful for the future. However, all of that changes when the pair try to be normal in public. But Lewis can see straight through Vinny. The pair begin chatting, and Gabby is suspicious and shocked when she walks in on them looking close. Spoiler 4. It's Tates versus Kings. Jimmy floods their house, leaving them with no other option than to move in with Laurel. And straight away, Jimmy heads to the pirate ship for some peace and quiet. However, Clemmy and Carl's friendship soon starts a war between the Tates and the Kings, and things get worse when Carl and Lucas fight at school, leaving Nicola adamant the Tates won't be near her children. But things escalate even further when the police show up in the village. Spoiler 5. Belle and Cammy take the next step. Enjoying their time together, Cammy and Belle decide to take their relationship to the next stage. But will they find they have acted too quickly? Spoiler 6. Liam is anxious. Chaz realizes she has been too preoccupied with Charity's baby news that she hasn't been there for Liam. The doctor is clearly struggling being a patient and is nervous about his upcoming test results. Will he be okay? Or is there heartbreak in store for Liam? And if you enjoyed these Emmerdale spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more. Here are 7 exciting Coronation Street spoilers for next week, including a hospital dash, an affair slip-up, and a blast from the past. Don't go anywhere. Spoiler 1. Asher's rushed to hospital. Asher drinks a large amount of wine while asking Brody to mind the shop. Dev soon panics when he receives a call from Amy revealing that Asher's been found on the street in a bad way. With Asher being rushed to A&E, Sienna reveals that drugs were found on Asher. Bernie then worries that Asher might have tried to kill herself. Spoiler 2. Dev worries about Asher. Dev then confides in Bernie that he feels angry that Asher was willing to make the family go through so much pain. He then visits Asher. But can he be there for his daughter? Spoiler 3. Theo plays the hero. With missing Theo still not contacting Todd, he reappears when finding Asher on a bench in Victoria Garden next to an empty bottle of wine. Todd's livid with Theo for disappearing, only making Theo storm off once again. However, Amy then tells Todd that if Theo hadn't found Asher when he did, she could have ended up dead. Will this give Todd some food for thought? Spoiler 4. Jealous Theo makes his feelings known. Todd lies to Theo that he can't go to Noah's funeral with him because he'll be stuck at work. Instead, though, he's accompanied by Billy to an appointment to check for bowel cancer. Todd tells Billy that he hasn't told Theo yet as he didn't want to add to his current stress. In the Rovers, Todd assures Billy that he'll tell Theo when he receives his results. Theo returns from the funeral, though, and is furious to see Todd having a drink with Billy. But will he lash out? Spoiler 5. Tim meets a blast from his past. At Streetcars, Tim recognizes his customer as a blast from the past back from the 80s, Trisha Pinkerton. He then meets up with the lads at the Rovers as they share their personal struggles with each other on the back of worrying about Dev. When Tim spots Trisha in the pub, he fills the lads in on who she is. Kevin's not impressed. Spoiler 6. The truth about Trisha comes out. Later in the week, Trisha turns up at the cab office to see Tim. Sally quickly makes it clear to her that she's Tim's wife. Sally's not happy with Tim and blames him for missing their anniversary meal and spending time with Trisha in the cab office. Once Sally has gone, Tim tells Brian that he and Trisha got together when she was 20 and he was only 14. When Trisha turns up again, Brian accuses Trisha of taking advantage of Tim. Brian then tries to help Tim face what really happened when he was a child. Sally then finds out that Tim was only 14 when they slept together and is stunned by the admission. Spoiler 7. Abby slips up. At Ronnie's birthday party, James awkwardly sits between Abby and James. Debbie has words with Abby and tells her that she must end her relationship with Carl before encouraging Kevin to hire a lawyer. Abby then sends Carl a text message and tells him that she thinks Kevin knows. However, she panics when she realizes that she sent the text to the wrong brother. Carl realizes that Abby sent the text to Kevin by mistake and tries to delete the message from Kev's phone. But will he be successful in his mission? And if you enjoyed these Coronation Street spoilers, subscribe so you can come back for more news from the Cobbles.